Hi guys, I'm here today to do a demonstration on Mother sauces. Mother sauces are a roux-based sauce. Roux is melted butter and flour that you make a paste to use for your thickening agent. The first sauce we're going to do today is a velouté. Velouté is made from fresh chicken stock and thickened with your roux. The second sauce is a bechamel. The bechamel is a milk-based sauce, also thickened with roux. And then finally, we've got espagnole. Espagnole is a little bit more difficult. It's got your celery, your carrot, your onion, your bay leaf, your veal stock, tomato puree, thickened with your roux also. So for this sauce, it's a velouté, which consists of fresh chicken stock, butter, flour, and salt and pepper. Okay, so I'm going to start with my butter. Should this melt down? Like golden. I'm going to add my flour next. Again, you're making a paste, which is called a roux, basically. Again, you're leaving the flour cook out. And you're going to leave this go slightly golden in colour. So that's nearly done. As soon as this is ready, I'm going to add my chicken stock. The chicken stock is just chicken bones roasted in the oven for about an hour. Just get some nice colour on them. You're adding it's a white chicken stock. So with the white chicken stock, you're just adding some celery, some onion. I like to add some flat leaf parsley to it as well. And you're just leaving it reduced for about an hour. And then you're passing it through a chinois. This is your end product. So this roux is nearly ready now. I'm going to start adding my stock. Just start adding it gradually. As you can see, it thickens pretty quickly. Just a little bit more stock. This is a chicken velouté. You can also make a fish velouté. It's just the exact same process, but instead of chicken bones, you use fish bones. That looks pretty good now. Just going to check it for seasoning. So a little bit more salt, a little bit of white pepper. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so all we need to do now is to pass this through a fine chinois. You need to pass it through the chinois just to get rid of any little lumps that you've missed. It just gives you a nice smooth silk sauce. Oh, that's it. It's your velouté sauce. So for this next sauce, I'm going to be making the bechamel, which is milk, butter, flour, salt and pepper, and bay leaf. So basically, I'm just going to start with my butter. Nice hot pan. don't overly cook your butter. Just leave it kind of goes, just leave it melt. Don't even leave it go golden brown. Because if you leave the butter go too dark, it's going to taint the sauce and it's going to change the color as well. Now you're going to add your flour. You got to leave your flour cook out. Remember, the amount of flour you put in, the more you put in, the thicker the sauce will be. So you got to really judge it yourself. You have to leave the flour cook out, otherwise you're going to taste it in the sauce. Okay, so now I'm nearly ready for my milk. The milk is just plain milk. I put a bay leaf in there just gives it a nice flavour, but that's it. Okay, so now we're ready for our milk. You're just gradually adding your milk bit by bit. And as you can see, it thickens up really quickly, so I've got to keep on adding it. It's not one of these sauces you can walk away from, you have to keep an eye on it. The reason you got to keep on whisking it because it gets really lumpy otherwise. But towards the end, we'll pass it through a fine chinois as well, so you get that any little bits of flour that haven't cooked out properly. Okay. Seem to be getting there now. Remember, this whole time the flour is cooking out as well. Final spoon of milk, I think. Maybe need a half one. The bechamel is used for so many different things. It's used for lasagnas, it's used for bases, for sauces. It's one of the most common sauces used in the kitchen. That's it, I think I'm happy with the consistency now. Just going to leave it cook out for a little bit. So the consistency of this sauce is pretty much there now. I'm happy with it. Just going to check it for seasoning. little bit more salt. And it just needs to be put through a fine chinois now. It's really important you pass it through a fine chinois because it just gets rid of any of the little bits of flour that hasn't cooked out. So we'll give it a little help with the spoon. That's it. And this is your finished product. The bechamel. This sauce I'm going to show you how to make is an Espagnole sauce. It's one of the mother sauces and it's a roux-based sauce. So your ingredients for your Espagnole sauce are shallot, carrot, celery, garlic, tomato puree, obviously butter and flour, your herb sachet, and finally your veal stock. So I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. And then I'm going to start adding my celery, my carrot, shallot, garlic. Just going to leave this sweat down. Nice golden brown consistency. Try to keep it on a medium heat. Okay, next I'm going to add my butter. Just lightly melt your butter down. As soon as the butter is melted down, I'm going to add flour, and it kind of makes a little bit of a paste from the roux. That's going to be your main thickening agent. Next, you got your flour. The more flour you put in, the thicker the sauce is going to be. So you need to be careful not to put in too much flour. It's about done. Just pull it off the heat for a little bit. Basically, you need to leave the flour cook out, because otherwise it's not going to taste very nice. Okay, so next I'm going to add my tomato puree. And now it's about ready to add the veal stock. Okay. So this is your veal stock. The veal stock basically is veal bones, which are roasted for 2 hours on 180 degrees. You need to get them nice and golden brown, because it's the golden brown that's going to give you the flavour in your stock. After you've roasted your bones, you add them to a pot with carrot, celery, garlic, a little bit of tomato puree, and you slowly boil them for about 3 hours. And that's going to create a nice flavoured stock for you. And this is the end result, basically. After you've strained this through a fine chinois, this is your end product. So I'm going to add this now to the Espagnole. So that's nearly all the ingredients now. The final thing is the herb sachet. Herb sachet consists of a bay leaf, curly parsley, and fresh thyme. So you just add that, and it just brings a really nice flavor out in the sauce. And it's just going to reduce now for probably for about an hour, hour and a half. You know when it's ready, when you know that you've got the right consistency. So this sauce is completed now. I'm just going to pass it through a fine chinois. You have to pass it through the chinois. You're just going to take all the little pieces, and it's going to give you a fine sauce. Tap it a little bit. Just helps it come through the chinois a little bit quicker. A chinois is a sieve, basically. That's it. And this is your finished sauce. Nice and silky.